Aetna has loudly denied that it's exiting Obamacare exchanges because of a Justice Department lawsuit. But last month CEO Mark Bertolini expressly warned the Obama administration that the company would do exactly that. Bertolini wrote to the DOJ on July 5 that if the administration tried to stop Aetna's controversial merger with Humana, Aetna would be forced to scale back its exchange presence, the Huffington Post's Jonathan Cohen and Jeffrey Young first reported. If the deal were challenged and/or blocked, we would need to take immediate actions to mitigate public exchange and ACA small group losses, Bertolini wrote, more than 2 weeks before the Justice Department sued to block Aetna's merger with Humana. He argued that Aetna needed the synergies of a successful merger to help cover its mounting operational costs, and that an administration lawsuit would only worsen the company's finances. Bertolini also spelled out how Aetna would reverse its previous expansion plans. In other words, instead of expanding to 20 states next year, we would reduce our presence to no more than 10 states. Aetna on Monday announced that it will sell Obamacare exchange plans in just 4 states next year, down from 15 states this year. Sudden reversal. As late as May 12, Aetna CEO Mark Bertolini and spokesman had said that the insurer would stay on the Obamacare exchanges next year, even as competitors dropped out, before publicly reversing course this week. Aetna chalks its decision up to mounting Obamacare-related losses and increased visibility into exchange performance, while still denying as of Tuesday night that the administration's lawsuit to block its merger with Humana played a role. Meanwhile, observers are getting nervous about exchange participation. HHS on Tuesday tried to reassure observers that there's still sufficient competition in the exchanges and that Aetna's withdrawal reflects the oft-bumpy process of building the markets. But in some states, consumers may have only 1 or 2 insurers to choose from in the exchanges next year, and people eligible for Obamacare subsidies can get that financial assistance if they try to find a health plan outside the exchange. Pros Paul Demko and Rakana Pradhan write. I'm very worried, said Greg Scott, head of Deloitte's health plans practice, of the possibility of more insurers fleeing the exchanges, which have attracted older and sicker customers than some insurers had anticipated. Scott acknowledges that some smaller plans are very much intent on staying in the markets, but the exchanges are burning through money. Welcome to Wednesday Pulse, where Hillary Clinton is still deciding who will play Donald Trump in her debate prep. One familiar name in the running, Ron Klain, who appeared on the Pulse Check podcast in May and was asked this very question by your author. Klain's response was quick and subtle, which suggests he has work to do if he wants to master a Trump impersonation. Send tips and possible Trumps to theamend@politico.com or @theamend on Twitter. Presented by Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals, a story of courage. Christine's son, Rock, became sick and needed surgery. For pain, a multimodal analgesic approach was used after surgery, thus reducing the amount of opioids Brock received. Surgery was successful. The care team did an excellent job helping him manage his pain with MMA therapy. I on Obamacare and Eastlavet on 2 reasons why exchanges are still an attractive play for insurers. The CMS acting administrator took to Twitter on Tuesday to argue that the long-term upside outpaces the short-term challenges. The economics are compelling, Slavitt tweeted, pointing out that exchange customers represent tens of billions of dollars in new opportunities. With even modest margins, growth, big business, he added. One insurer doing well, Florida Blue. Obamacare has been a boon, the insurer's CEO told CNBC on Tuesday. While Aetna is pulling out from Florida's market, Florida Blue serves 700,000 customers through the state's insurance exchange, and is making money. Modern Healthcare reported that Florida Blue made in $471 million in profit on its Obamacare plans last year. The big nationals aren't quite as in touch with local markets, and it makes a very big difference, CEO Patrick Garrity said. He added that his company was well prepared to handle Obamacare's risk pool, which many bigger insurers said turned out to be older and sicker than expected. We anticipated that people were going to be more sick because they hadn't had health care in the past, he added, pointing to Florida Blue's efforts like offering immediate risk assessments to new patients. What Florida Blue's CEO didn't mention, his company's high rates. According to state calculations for the current plan year, Florida Blue's average monthly premiums are $472, the highest average rates on the exchange. Aetna, meanwhile, is charging $381 in average monthly premiums. Blue's had highest AVE rates now gone. How is this better for consumers? On the trail, Clinton transition team includes Neera Tanden, Ann O'Leary, The Clinton campaign yesterday announced its transition team, should the Democratic nominee win November's election, and the roster boasts several experts on health and family issues. Tandon, the head of the Center for American Progress, who's serving as one of 4 transition co-chairs, worked on domestic policy in the Bill Clinton administration and had a senior HHS health reform position in the Obama administration. O'Leary, who is serving as a senior domestic policy advisor to the campaign, was previously a professor of health law and social policy at UC Berkeley. Members of the transition team often go on to senior administration positions. Providers how to build a better healthcare workforce. Stephen Wortman, the president of the Association of Academic Health Centers, writes in Health Affairs about ways to improve the state of graduate medical education. Wortman bemoans the stressors on caregivers, like the growing pressure to maximize patient throughput. At the same time, he acknowledges the industry is rapidly changing, and even if we could make reasonable predictions, simply adding more physicians is not a thoughtful solution, he notes. Instead, Wortman offers 4 steps to improve U.S. graduate medical education. 1. Improve the relationship between academic institutions and the delivery systems that will eventually employ their students. 2. Redistribute the cost of education, lessening the distorting effects that currently encourage students to pick professions that will make it easier to pay back their loans. 3. Speed up the time it takes to go through training, through better integration of different components, like pre-med and med school. 4. Make sure accreditors and licensors are pushing real industry improvements, and aren't just guardians of the status quo. Around the nation, Debbie Wasserman Schultz gets NARAL endorsement. The embattled Florida Congresswoman, who last month resigned as head of the Democratic National Committee, got a vote of confidence from NARAL Pro-Choice America PAC on Tuesday. The abortion rights group said that Wasserman Schultz has been a key ally in protecting access to contraception and abortion. Debbie understands that harmful, anti-choice policies like the Hyde and Helms amendments only end up further discriminating against low-income women, NARAL's Sasha Bruce said in a statement. Cost of one system's nursing strike, and $20.4 million. That's how much a 7-day strike in June called by the Minnesota Nurses Association ended up costing Alena Health, Ellison writes at Becker's Hospital Review. Overall, the Minnesota-based health system saw operating income in the first half of 2016 fall by 40% compared to last year, largely because of strike expenses.